Hello friends, this is Love Johar. Thank you so much for watching this video and thank you so much for tuning into this channel. In this video, we will understand a very important topic for implementing cybersecurity framework for small and medium businesses. Okay, this is NIST Cybersecurity Framework, and it will really help you if you are trying to implement the cybersecurity framework in a small and medium industry, and you want to understand from where you can actually begin your journey. Because sometimes we get confused, from where to head start and how to implement the cybersecurity framework for the first time. So, for all of you out there who are trying to implement this cybersecurity framework and at the first time on your company and you don't know about anything, this video is for you, and please watch this video very carefully so that you can get complete understanding in the implementation of this framework. This framework will help you a lot in terms of aligning with all the regulations as well. You must have GDPR, PCI DSS compliance or all. So this cybersecurity framework, if you have implemented correctly, it will actually help ease implementation of the remaining frameworks for your organization. So hope this helps. Please watch carefully, and if you have any questions, please add in the comment section. Thank you. So I have already shared the link of this PDF in the description of this video so that you can download this PDF and refer to this if you want. So this is from NIST, okay? And you need to understand that this is a very important framework. So let us try to understand what all this means and how you can implement, okay? So it has some steps. First step is identify, second step is protect, the third step is detect, fourth step is respond, and fifth step is recover. And you have to implement this in this step by step manner only, okay? And this is very important you understand this very properly, okay? So first of all, this identify step is what all assets do you have, okay? What are the critical assets of your company? You should have a list of all the equipment, all the software, all the data that you have, including your laptop, smartphone, tablets, and everything that you have in your organization. Okay, you should have a list of all the equipments that you have. Okay, you need to identify what all assets are there in your organization, and you need to make a list of it. Okay, and then you need to create and share a company cybersecurity policy. Okay, now you must have seen many videos on my channel where I have shown you how you can create a cybersecurity policy. It is very easy, and you can search my channel. There are many videos on policy documents from where you can get relevance and guidance. So now you have to create and share a company cybersecurity policy which covers roles and responsibility for your employees. Okay, very important. What are your vendors and what are their roles and responsibilities? And anyone who is accessing the sensitive data, be it third party vendors, be it any other stakeholders, you must have to define their roles and responsibilities in this cybersecurity policy. Okay, and what else? You have to define the steps to take to protect against an attack and limit the damage if one occurs. So in this cybersecurity policy, you also have to understand that you create some sort of framework for incident management, security incident, security attack, and how you manage the security incident in case it happens. Okay, so this is comes under identify. Now second is the protect stage. Okay, so protect will actually help you to control who logs onto your network and uses your computers and other devices. So you use security software to protect your data. Okay, you encrypt the sensitive data. Whatever sensitive data that you have, you encrypt it at rest and in transit. Okay, how do you do that? So you encrypt sensitive data. For at rest you use different algorithms, and in transit you use different algorithms for encryption. Okay, so at rest you can have full disk encryption and database encryption for your database and hard disk drives, and in transit you can have TLS and SSL encryptions in place. Okay, and IPsec encryption, so you can use in transit as well. So after that, you need to conduct regular backups of your data under protect, which is very important. So make sure all the pointers which are given here, my friend, you have to understand them, and you formulate a plan for this. You create a plan for this, and you have to implement this. Because if you, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, if you implement this properly, half of your work is done. I would say more than half of your work is done. And this is especially for small businesses, as you can see, small and medium businesses. So it is very helpful if you have a small organization. Just follow these steps and it will actually help you a lot. Okay. And again, any questions, feel free to add in the comment section of this video. So after that, you have to update your security software regularly. Make sure that the software is updated, and try to automate these updates if possible, so that they are not missed, because security software patching is very important. And have formal policies for safely disposing of electronic files and old devices. Disposal has to be proper. Why this is important? Because sometimes if the disposal is not proper, then the information can be recovered. So you have to make sure proper disposal is in place. Okay. And formal policies are in place for disposal of your laptops, desktops, or any other list of equipment that you have identified in the identified section. Okay. After that, training is very important for protection. You have to train everyone who uses your computers, devices, and networks about cyber security, the risks, and you can help your employees understand their personal risk in addition to their crucial role in the workplace. So training is very important under protect. Then you have to go for the third step, which is detect. So detect is basically, as the name suggests, you need to monitor. You need to monitor the network, you need to monitor the logs, you need to understand and investigate if there is any unusual activity on your network. Is there any sort of advanced persistent threat on your network which you need to identify? You need to understand whether there are unauthorized users on your network. All this comes under detect. So monitoring, very important here. SIEM solution will actually help here. If you implement a SIEM solution, SIEM solution, again, on my channel you have videos on SIEM as well, security incident event management. So if you have SIEM software, it will actually help you monitor your computers for any unauthorized personal access, and all. So apart from that, you have to make sure that USB drives, etc., are prohibited, and software is controlled. So all this comes under detect phase. Respond is, let's say something has happened, okay, and now you are trying to mitigate, you are trying to reduce the impact. So that comes under respond. So for that, you have to prepare in advance. As I said, you have to plan for this. Okay. So you should have a plan for notifying your customers, your employees, and other stakeholders. Let's say there is a breach in the organization. So you need to have notification mechanisms in place. Who will notify who? What sort of communications will happen? What will be the forms of communication? All this has to be done from you, but all this has to be documented in advance. Okay. So that it can be done at that time. Otherwise, if you are not prepared, if you don't have a plan, that's why it is very rightly said, you need to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have the proper documentation in place, then it will be very hard for in order to notify even people in case of any sort of security breach, or in case of any sort of impact, okay, on your organization. Second thing is, you need to make sure you keep your business up and running under any circumstances. So again, you have to plan for this. Disaster recovery, business continuity planning, business impact assessment, all have to be done under this particular thing. Okay. So make sure you understand this bullet properly. Reporting the attack to law enforcement and other authorities if relevant. Okay. If, let's say, there is a loss of personal data, and you come under GDPR, so again, you have to make sure that you report the attack. So this has to be done properly. And investigating and containing the attack. Okay, very important. You have to, as I mentioned, you have to investigate the attack and contain the attack. What they mean by containing is isolate the sort of segment the sort of critical assets which have been affected from the remaining assets. For example, let us understand what is containing an attack means. Containing an attack means, let's say one of your VLAN is affected. Let's say one of your 10 of your servers on a particular VLAN are impacted by, let's say, some sort of virus attack, okay, malware attack. So for those particular servers, okay, you need to make sure that you contain them. You all the other devices in that same segment should be, the communication should be stopped from the remaining network. So that's how you contain it. You have to isolate that particular scope of the attack, so that the remaining infrastructure does not get affected. Okay, this is very important. After that, you update your cybersecurity policy and plan with the lessons learned. In case of any breach, you need to understand what was done right, what was done wrong. Everything has to be documented. Okay, so you make sure you do that. Preparing for inadvertent events, like weather emergencies that may put data in cases of natural disasters. You should be prepared. For example, any floods, earthquakes, etc., you should be prepared. you know so very important to have a plan for respond. All this has to be planned in advance. And very important, and rightly said, test your plan regularly. Because I have seen many scenarios where companies, take backups and they take, regular backups, and when the time comes, when they are hit with ransomware attack or any sort of attack, they are not able to restore the data, my friend. So make sure that you test your plans regularly. You do DR drills, you do, BCP drills. These are in place so that you understand whether your planning is proper or not. Okay, respond is very important phase. And even for small business, you should have proper planning for this and documentation as well. After that, we have recover, the fifth and last final step of the NIST framework for small businesses. So after an attack, how do you recover? Okay, as the phase says, after an attack, what should you do? So repair and restore the equipment and parts of your network that were affected. As I said in the example that I gave, let's say 10 servers have been affected. So what will you do in that case? You will of course format all those 10 servers. You will make sure that there is proper formatting done, and you will make sure that you restore the operating system on those servers, and make sure that your affected infrastructure gets repaired and restored properly after the attack. Because again, you want to restore those servers, you can't simply throw them away because of the attack. So you have to make sure you repair and restore your equipment after the attack. Okay, and keep employees and customers informed of your response and recovery activities as well. Because let's say your employees had some sort of critical data on those servers, or even your customer information was there. So you have to make sure that you inform them at each and every step, so that they are aware what are your containment strategies, recovery strategies. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. I hope this has given you a good idea in terms of implementing cybersecurity framework for a small business. And as always, in case of any questions, please feel free to add in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.